Hello kind people of YouTube and welcome back to another video. As always, today we're gonna take a quick look at the crypto markets before jumping into some of the news of the day. As you can see, got some tabs open here already. I actually found more stories today, but if I included them all it would be way too long. So I'll either make another video later or I'll include them tomorrow. But let's get started by taking a look at the markets. After we saw the markets shoot up to a market total valuation of just about 220 billion, we have seen them retreat today quite significantly, down about 2% to $215 billion now. 24-hour volume still strong, we see a lot going on there. And as to be expected, when the markets pull back a bit, Bitcoin managed to reclaim some of its dominance and gained from 51.3% yesterday to 52.1% today. Now we see here pretty much everything is down, with some minor exceptions like Dash up 1.63% and Zcash up 1.28%. The big winner of the day, once again, Basic Attention Token, which has now almost clawed its way into the top 25 cryptocurrencies from having been number 42 just a couple days ago. That, of course, coming off a lot of it seems to be FOMO from people realizing that it should be added to Coinbase in the very near future, because it is already on Coinbase Pro now, and that launched this initial price increase, the Coinbase Pro listing, and the hope that it will soon also appear on regular Coinbase. So we saw it first shoot all the way up to spot 30, and now it is up at spot 26, and by far the biggest winner of the day, up 8%. But aside from that, make sure, well, you can't really make sure anything about that, but don't get worried about this. We see this every single time. The market shot up so much in such a short time. It always pulls back a bit after that. Now, I'm sure a lot of people in their analysis will use this as evidence that that we have not entered a bull market. I didn't think we were in a bull market either way, because this was very much similar movement to what we've seen a couple times in the last couple of months. But it isn't looking negative either. We are just going a bit down from the ridiculous highs that we reached a day or two ago. So don't get worried. Don't get worried until we fall under the values from before prices shot up. And let's look at some actual news. All these articles, as always, linked in the description if you want to read them yourself. I don't always read out everything, but since we only have 4 stories in this video, I'll probably read them out pretty fully. Japan's Shinsei Bank, Nippon Wealth form business alliance with blockchain startup Consensus. Japan's Shinsei Bank has signed a memorandum of understanding with blockchain startup Consensus to widen its exploration of the technology's applications for finance, Cointelegraph Japan reports on November 8th. According to an English-language press release published the same date, the MOU entails a business alliance between Shinsei Bank, Hong Kong-based restricted license bank Nippon Wealth, Singaporean private equity fund Trebay Capital, and Consensus. The latter was funded in 2014 by Ethereum co-founder Joseph Lubin and is currently headquartered in New York. The alliance between the 4 entities will focus on exploring the use of Consensus's decentralized applications to develop new financial products and services, with Nippon Wealth spearheading a study of blockchain infrastructure and protocols for the banking sector. According to the press release, Nippon Wealth has completed a capital injection through a third-party allocation of shares of OGBC Co. Limited, its owner. The alliance means that Trebay Capital will become a new shareholder of Nippon, with Shinsei Bank nonetheless remaining its majority shareholder, retaining 50% of shareholder rights, according to CT Japan. Following the study, the parties have indicated they will roll out blockchain-related offerings and details of new services on their banking platforms at a later date. This week, a cybersecurity subsidiary of Japan's Nomura Research Institute announced a new blockchain security alert tool while also confirming a partnership with Consensus. As recently reported, blockchain is becoming a key focus of Japan's traditional financial sector, with multinational IT firm Fujitsu announcing late October its plan to build an interbank settlement platform using blockchain technology as part of a joint project with 9 domestic banks. Also in October, Japanese financial services giant SBI Group debuted a Ripple XRP-powered settlement system that harnesses Ripple's Xcurrent solution to enable domestic bank-to-bank transfers in real time. Gotta keep in mind here, if it's using the Xcurrent solution, it is not technically XRP powered. Xcurrent can use XRP but doesn't have to. If they're using Xrapid, that means it is definitely XRP powered. What we see here is just the same thing we have seen in Japan for a while now. Banking in Japan is probably further ahead than any other country I can think of, except maybe South Korea and the United States. No, it's definitely further ahead than the United States. In major banks adopting crypto technologies, working with tokens, working with blockchains. We see most of this with Ripple's technologies. They have established a network with SBI. I think they're called SBI. Yeah, SBI Group. I keep mixing up abbreviations. I'm very bad with that, so I'm sorry if I ever mix something up. But yeah, the biggest player in that area is currently Ripple with SBI, and they have a whole network of banks that are using the Xcurrent technology and that are on track to at some point switch over hopefully to Xrapid and will then utilize the XRP token. But we've also seen other movements here. We have seen Fujitsu partnering with banks. I believe they were using the Stellar blockchain. I could be wrong here. But not the blockchain itself. I believe they were making a copy of the blockchain. But don't quote me on this. I talked about it a couple days ago. But I talk about so many news stories, I can't really keep them all straight in my head. But yeah, the latest in a long line of movement in Japan. We see the Japanese financial world be very, very friendly towards crypto here. And I think this will be a very good injection of funds into the crypto ecosystem internationally, not just in Japan. eToro launches new cryptocurrency wallet. Now, eToro is of course pretty big in traditional finance, a social trading platform, and they recently launched its digital currency wallet. According to FinExtra, global social trading platform eToro launched its cryptocurrency wallet on Tuesday. The new wallet would currently support 4 virtual currencies, which include Bitcoin and altcoins such as Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. The eToro wallet is a mobile app accessible on iOS and Google Play. One of its features includes multi-signature security that ensures the safety of users' private keys. The wallet also comes with a user-friendly interface. Commenting on the launch of the eToro wallet, the company's CEO, Yoni Asia, I probably mispronounced that, I'm very sorry about that as always, said that the company is a firm believer in the nascent technology that could significantly influence the financial sector. Asia also said that decentralized technology has excellent prospects to transform the current finance sector. Furthermore, the CEO said, "We believe that in the future all assets will be tokenized and that crypto is just the first step on this journey. Just as eToro has opened up traditional markets for investors, we want to do the same in a tokenized world. The eToro wallet is a key part of this." And they are very big on the future of crypto here. With the statement, "We believe that in the future all assets will be tokenized." That is very bullish on crypto. Very, very. And here they're saying crypto is just the first step. Of course, all of that would most likely be happening on blockchain, so that would all be crypto. But what they mean here is that traditional first, second generation blockchains and the tokens on them is the first step. CEO Asia further said that in addition to the launch of the eToro wallet, there will be more functionality. These functionalities include the support of more virtual currencies and fiat tokens, cryptocurrency to cryptocurrency conversion, among others. The company also stated that it would list more virtual currencies in addition to the available 4 at a later date. The global trading platform also announced that its digital currency wallet would launch its eToro wallet phase by phase. Furthermore, the transfer of digital currencies from eToro to the new wallet would be for Platinum members who use XRP. Over time, this service would extend to more customers and more digital coins. When it comes to virtual currency and blockchain technology, eToro has a friendly approach. The trading platform has a positive outlook towards virtual currency despite all of these sentences really need to be proofread. Despite the industry's volatile nature. The platform announced that it reduced its fees for digital currency traders to encourage investment for its traders. Also, the company added Cardano ADA to the list of supported digital currencies. The addition of the cryptocurrency brought the number of listed currencies to 11 at the time. Now, I don't actually remember when this happened. I don't remember this happening at all. It must have gone completely past my radar. But here we have it. Cardano ADA supported on eToro now as well. It's not quite clear from this article if this is something that happened super recently or if this was a couple of weeks or months ago. Furthermore, in October of 2018, the company became the first platform to list the Binance coin on eToro. The addition of Binance coin brought the total number of assets listed by eToro to 13. So here we see another company that was originally in traditional finance, moving more and more into the crypto space, now with their own wallet. Now, they did offer trading services for crypto tokens before, but this is the first time where they just have a standalone wallet, which you can use in conjunction with their trading platform, but which can also just be used as a straight up wallet just to keep your funds secure. It's pretty bare bones right now with the 4 coins that they support, but I think we're gonna see a lot more on there in the near future. They will probably roll out one by one support for all the coins that their main trading platform also supports. And for me, this is once again more evidence that the crypto world is gaining in infrastructure, is developing, and all of this will be the basis for the next bull run whenever it does happen. Ripple. You guys love when I talk about Ripple. Ripple partner Ripple's platform moves a couple billion, hints at usage of XRP-powered XRapid in the future. Now, a little disclaimer here, this is an AMB crypto article. I have been trying to stay away from AMB crypto since they have been implicated in... They have actually been implicated in multiple things lately. They were first implicated in a scandal which implicated multiple major crypto pages, but AMB crypto was one of the largest, of them posting sponsored paid content without making it clear that it was sponsored content, essentially posting ads as if they were articles. And then I pretty much called them out for something similar in a separate video where I read out one of their articles where they were giving someone a platform that shouldn't be given a platform, and that looked like it was almost certainly a paid article as well. So I've been trying to stay away from AMB crypto because they just have a very shady history now and they're very tainted. But this particular article, I simply found that their article had more information and better information than some of the others that I had found, and I made sure to independently verify the information in here as well, so you know there's nothing shady going on here. Paula da Silva, the head of transaction services at SEB, a prominent Swedish bank, recently appeared on an interview to speak about the platform's continued use of Ripple's technology for settlement between Sweden and the United States. She also mentioned that all the customers of the bank are utilizing the technology for transfers. This news comes after their partnership with Ripple, which occurred late last year in November. At that time, the platform was said to be utilized for real-time transfers between the company's headquarters in Stockholm and New York. At the time of launch, Da Silva stated, "By using Ripple's distributed financial technology, our customers can initiate real-time transfers between their SEB accounts in Sweden and the bank's branch in New York. This is a way to explore the potential of new technologies and an example of how we, by working with innovative technology companies, can be even more relevant to our customers." The bank's customers seem to have been satisfied with the results, as Da Silva stated that all of their clients were engaging in transactions using the platform. In an interview with The Banker, she stated, "Last year there was only one customer on it then. Now we have all customers of SEB doing intercompany transfers between Sweden and the US on the Ripple platform. So we have a couple billion going through that. We are trying to understand how that goes and what we would need to make it happen even better." She also stated that the bank would be exploring the next step of the partnership in the future, which may be a possibility of them utilizing XRapid, a technology which provides a substantial gain over their current usage of XCurrent. She went on to say, "It's really exciting and our IT people are all over this. I think it's a good idea, so I'm happy that business and IT are collaborating on something new." Marcus Treacher, Ripple's global head of strategic accounts, said, "We're really proud to be working with Paula and her team at SAB. Super results from a great customer and Ripple partner." This is of course very, very exciting. Now currently they are not using, from what we can tell, they are not using the XRP token. They are just using Ripple's technologies in general, the XCurrent technology. But they are moving billions by their own statements through that, and I checked independently. This is a video of her making that statement. I'm actually not sure if you'll be able to hear this video if I were to play it now, but this is the quote. He ever so slightly paraphrased it, but that is what she said. Last year there was only one customer, now we have all, blah, 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 blah. Exactly what we just saw in the AMB crypto article, and here's the video for it. I will be linking that as well to this tweet that contains the actual video excerpt. This very, very exciting. It's one thing to get companies starting to use Ripple's technologies. It's another for them after a year to talk about how satisfied they are with it and that they're rolling it out more and more and that they're looking to do more with it in the future, that they're looking to move on to potentially other products in the future. It's one thing to get your foot in the door and it's another to walk into the room. And in 2017 and even in much of 2018, Ripple was getting its foot in the door with a lot of companies. Now it remains to be seen how many times it managed to actually get into the room. And at least with SEB, it looks like they very much managed to do it. A very satisfied customer, and this is very, very good to see because you have to keep in mind all these major banks, they're directly connected. All their CEOs, they know each other, they talk to each other. They're constantly working with other international banks. So if one major bank is really happy with Ripple's technologies, other banks will find out, other banks will start using that as well. This is very good for Ripple and by extension for the XRP token. Now you might say, hey, they're just using xCurrent, that's not necessarily using the XRP token. Yes, very much true, but you have to keep in mind that Ripple's plan is very simple here. What they're doing is they onboard companies. They start them with xCurrent and then the plan is to get them on xRapid in the future or on xVia or on any other solution that uses the XRP token. Because the thing is, when you use the token, the transactions become cheaper and that is ultimately what everybody wants in the end. So xRapid of course has only been on for about a month, so most companies are still using xCurrent. But these banks, these companies that are very happy with the way xCurrent is working out for them are extremely likely to sooner or later make the switch over to xRapid, at which point we would see a significant amount of money flowing through the XRP token every single day, being bought in one country, sold in another instantly after. That is a lot of movement on the XRP blockchain. That will be reflected both in the volume that we can see on websites like CoinMarketCap, as well as a result of that will be reflected in the XRP price. And the last story for right now, and this is tangentially related to cryptocurrencies, but I thought it was an example of a large crypto company, a relatively large one, engaging in some activism in a meaningful and constructive manner, and I just wanted to talk about it. Brave asks for US equivalent to GDPR. JavaScript creator Brendan Eich's Brave browser is on a mission to fix the web. That is what they actually give as their mission statement. En route to this, Brave has this week written directly to the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, part of the US Department of Commerce, calling for a US equivalent to the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation. Now, if you don't know what that is, that was passed earlier this year, and essentially it heavily limits what companies in Europe can do with people's data. Now, it doesn't stop people from collecting user data, but it limits what they can collect, how they can use it, how transparent they have to be about it. It was a meme for a while in Europe that every time you enter a website now, you have to pretty much confirm how they get to use your data. So there's a lot more transparency, and there's no legal equivalent to that in a lot of other regions around the world. So a lot of people have been hoping that the US would implement something similar. The letter, penned by Brave's Chief Policy and Industry Relations Officer, Dr. Johnny Ryan, came in response to an invitation to comment on the ever-growing issue of consumer online privacy. Ryan's letter follows one written by Ike to the US Senate Committee on Commerce, Science and Transportation in September. In the letter, Ryan recommends the introduction of a federal law that draws upon the EU's newly introduced GDPR and adopts its protective approach to new market entrants. It also recommends that the US build upon similar standards to the GDPR to maintain its global leadership. The GDPR, in brief, seeks to regulate how companies can use their customers' data. The latter agrees with GDPR concepts of data controllers and data processors, roles that entities entrusted with users' personal information must clearly have, and who must follow and implement set rules in order to comply with GDPR or similar legislation. Brave, with its Ethereum-based basic attention token, is very much a part of the cryptocurrency and blockchain ecosystem. Yet many believe GDPR and blockchain technology are not compatible due to the latter's immutability. The EU Blockchain Observatory and Forum recently outlined the tensions between GDPR and blockchain technology, whilst also arguing there are paths for reconciliation. Such paths are more difficult to envision for public, decentralized blockchains. For the Ethereum blockchain and others, GDPR and the potential US equivalent pose problems. Personal data stored on a blockchain could be carried across borders through decentralized nodes out of the jurisdiction of regional legislators. If a blockchain is immutable, how can data be deleted at the request of a user under the principles of GDPR? If blockchain governance is decentralized, who takes the role and responsibility of data controller? For Brave, compliance is a little clearer. Ryan, speaking directly to Ethereum News, explained how Brave by default does not and will not store any personal data, nor does Brave use a blockchain other than for financial transactions off BAT. If a Brave user opts into a feature that do store personal data, this data is secured in a way that even Brave cannot access, Ryan explains. For example, if a user switches on Sync, a feature that synchronizes settings, bookmarks, history, and related data between instances of Brave on different devices, then an encrypted copy of this information is sent to Brave in order to keep the data synchronized, but we do not have the keys to decrypt the data. By using privacy by design principles, Brave is already GDPR compliant and would likely be compliant with any similar federal privacy laws developed in the US. Ryan says Brave has chosen to support federal privacy legislation because self-regulation in the ad tech industry has failed. Cambridge Analytica proved that beyond argument. Remember, Cambridge Analytica was once a darling of the ad tech industry. There are other reasons he points out. I also think this will protect innovation and choice in the market. The GDPR's robust approach to purpose specification will help restrain large tech platforms from leveraging their dominant positions in one line of business by cross-using data accumulated in that line of business to dominate other lines of business too. This is important because the cross-use of data is a serious antitrust concern. Young, innovative companies can be snuffed by giant incumbents who erect barriers to entry by cross-using data for purposes beyond what they were originally collected for. Though the Brave browser by default blocks all advertisements, unwanted media, and data collecting cookies, users can opt in to enable certain cookies in return for payments in BAT. By using BAT tokens, which are paid for by advertisers and passed on to users as an opt-in reward, Brave can monetize the platform without the need for Google or Facebook's models of monetizing data or displaying ads. Ryan and Brave don't want the US to be left behind or struggle to adapt to legislation implemented in other countries. Ryan suggests GDPR-like laws are emerging across the globe and it is becoming a standard. The United States can assume the global lead in this domain by establishing a world-leading regulator that pursues test cases and defines practical standards. Brave's position on data privacy and compliance is clear, as is its ability to comply, but others in the blockchain and cryptocurrency ecosystem may find GDPR equivalent legislation more challenging to implement, even though GDPR shares blockchain's ethos of user empowerment. The EU Blockchain Observatory and Forum is not alone in believing that GDPR-style legislation and decentralized blockchain technology can coexist on a harmonious path. Michelle Fink, Senior Research Fellow at the Max Planck Institute for Innovation and Competition in Germany and lecturer in European Union law at the University of Oxford, explains the hidden opportunities of GDPR to Ethereum News earlier this year, and is of course a link to an interview with that person. Now, the way I'm looking at this is that if the US were to adopt GDPR exactly as it is right now, that might run into some issues with cryptocurrencies. But I think it is certainly possible to come up with a set of laws that follows a similar purpose, in that it gives users on the internet transparency about how their data is being used and collected by huge companies, and you have to keep in mind misused in many cases as well. And still enabling blockchains to work as intended. There has to be a middle ground here, and I think rather than pretending that nothing is possible here, which some people are doing, we should be looking for a solution that has all the best of the EU's GDPR framework, without the issues for cryptocurrency. And that is certainly possible. That has to be possible. I think it's wonderful that Brave is getting active in this. Brave, I mean, I'm using the browser right now, so you see I'm a supporter, and I talked about the BAT token earlier in this video, but they're doing a very good job at using their influence, and they're not one of the tech giants, but they are becoming bigger, they are becoming a known quantity, and they are using that influence, that name that they have, that people recognize now, they're using it in pretty much all matters of cybersecurity, privacy on the internet. They are always writing to the governments, they are always making statements, they are always adding their expertise to the discussion, and so far they have always done it in a way that I personally very strongly support, because they have always spoken up for the user, for privacy and security for everybody. And honestly, isn't that part of what a cryptocurrency and blockchain stands for? Isn't freedom, privacy, security, aren't those things that blockchain should stand for and does stand for? I think Brave is one of the companies that are transferring this onto other areas very well with their activism, and that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful. And with that, I'm gonna end today's video. I messed up a lot today again, I'm very sorry about this. You have to keep in mind, English is my second language, and when I'm reading all of these out, especially when there is a mistake of some kind in the text as well, I get startled, I stumble over my words, I mess up, and it just happens. It's my second language, I'm always a bit anxious making the videos, it all adds up. It all adds up. But thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe, because I do these videos every single day. Today there was an awful little news about actual tokens, but usually we're talking more about the projects, and we usually have price predictions and all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. If you really like my channel, there's ways to support it in the description. And there are also links to all of these articles, as well as links to my social media pages. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back either with another video later today, which I can't promise, I am relatively busy today, or with just a regular news update video tomorrow, which then will probably be a bit longer, because I'll include these stories that I didn't talk about in this video. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and as always, thank you so much for watching.